Good afternoon and welcome to all of you to All in This Together 3, co-producing resilient communities. Fantastic to see you all here. My name's Ruth Dineen. Before we get started, or to kick off the proceedings, I'd like to invite Matthew Quinn to come and say a few words. Matthew is Director of Environment and Sustainability for the Welsh Government. He's also a fantastic co-pro champion, and he's a sponsor of this event. What's not to like? Matthew.
Thanks very much indeed, Ruth. I won't keep you for very long. Just to say a real warm welcome to today. We're very pleased to be associated with this event. As Ruth said, I've been trying to do this thing for a while. It's difficult within government. Yeah, we talk about small, smart country. The fact is, we're only a small, smart country if we actually talk to each other and if we recognise each other's strengths and abilities and form common purpose and then do things together. And we don't always do that, do we? We do it on our own a bit too much. And government's really always in a position where it's an easy go-to space to do things to people rather than to do things with people, because it suits accountabilities, it suits looking as if you're doing something rather than actually doing something, which is sort of quite important within government. And we have various professions within us, all of which have been trained to be expert and to know the right answer. So it is difficult. You'll have to bear with us if we don't always get it right. But as a department, we are working specifically at the moment around this as being one of our core values. And so if you see us not doing it, just politely, if you see us doing things to you rather than with you, just politely mention this, and we'll think on that and reflect on whether we're living up to the values that we want to do. So I'm really looking forward to today. Some of the colleagues are here, will join in the course of the day as well, and do a little bit of learning around what we need to do differently. But I think there's some real opportunities here. Look forward to the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. I'm in a state of more or less complete terror, but it's tempered with a state of high excitement. In fact, I don't think I've been this excited since I was 14 and a half. I was in Pontins holiday camp in Brean Sands. This is a true story. I was on a dodgem car, and the drummer from the Small Faces got into the dodgem car with me. Be still my beating heart. I actually bought the 2 bob he'd spent to go on the dodgem car back from the fairground lad. It cost me 3 shillings. Entrepreneurialism. And I slept with it under my pillow for several months until it mysteriously disappeared. I blame my brother, although I asked him last week and he still denies it. Nonetheless, there has been a tension between us ever since. But I do digress. This is another point of high excitement, and I suspect that it's going to overwhelm my previous experience of excitement by light years. And there's 3 main reasons for that. First of all, our subject. Last November, I began a voluntary project to co-design a co-production resource for people who wanted to work in this extraordinary way. I started getting case studies and evidence and tools, techniques, theories, ideas from more than 90 people across the UK and the USA. And 2 things became absolutely clear to me. First of all, co-production really works. It is the most extraordinarily effective way of delivering public services. It's not easy, it's not quick, but it really does the job it's intended to do. Perhaps more importantly are the principles behind co-production. These ensure that we're not just delivering a public service, but we're actually changing, transforming people's lives and the lives of our communities. Seriously, genuinely, you'll see that happening when you hear our speakers later this afternoon. Those principles, many of you will be familiar with them, but in case you're not, they are, if I can remember them all, first of all, facilitation, not delivery. As Matthew said, doing with, not doing to. In order that that power balance can shift, several other things need to be put in place. First of all, we need to ensure that all participants are equally valued for what they can bring to the table. But also we need to ensure that there are opportunities for them to grow, develop and learn, so their strengths are increased during the course of the project. And we need to ensure that we develop peer group networks, so they're not working alone, they're really working in partnership, they're not isolated anymore. And all of those things can only happen if we build relationships of trust, genuine relationships that are based on mutualism and reciprocity, giving and taking by all partners. It's a bit fab. It is the holy grail of health, happiness and well-being. Yes. So that's my donut of excitement. And the cream on the donut of my excitement, our extraordinary speakers. Our speakers are creative, innovative, committed, ethical, transformative, luminous, and probably now exceedingly embarrassed. And their projects too are absolutely profoundly moving. I won't say any more because they'll tell you about them themselves. The cherry, the hundreds and thousands, and the flake on top of my donut and cream. You. You in all your massy loveliness, and I mean that in the best sense of the word mass. If I start with the mass, I started all in this together last February as a way of sharing what I was discovering about co-production. The first two events we held had about 60 to 70 people. This event, we had more than 180 people signed up from over 100 organisations. All in all, since we started all in this together, 400 people from over 170 organisations have either participated directly or told us they're interested in what's going on and asked to be kept informed of that agenda. This is big. This is fantastic. This is a tipping point. Wales is about to plunge like an exquisite diver at the Olympics into the glorious pool of co-production. Yes. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited by you. The other reason why I'm excited by you isn't just numerical. That would be superficial of me. It's about your variety and loveliness. You sit before me today like a Welsh cottage garden of blooms in high summer. Look at you all. Just fabulous. We've got blooms from Carmarthen, from Cardiff, from Caerphilly, from the Rhondda, from Merthyr, from Torfaen, from Tredegar, from Monmouthshire. We've even got some hardy annuals who come all the way down from Wrexham. We've got some extraordinary, We've got some extraordinary exotics who come from Warrington. Only just discovered where that was today. Birmingham, Manchester and London. And I hope, we've got Greg from Colombia, which is in America. Is Greg here? Yay, Greg! Absolutely astonishing. Not only do you come from all sorts of geographical locations, we've got policy officers, commissioners, government advisors, co-pro consultants, organisational leaders, project managers, frontline staff, service designers, politicians, social enterprises, community activists, local authority officers, councillors, volunteers, government workers, citizens, academic funders, and a whole load more. This is amazing, isn't it? Something is starting to happen here. As well as that, your interests are extraordinarily wide. We've got people from community, from housing, from social care, from the environment, from sustainability, from tourism, from culture and dance. We've got Rubicon here, love their cotton socks. We've got people from the museum, we've got people from politics, we've got people from academia. Every possible thing you can think of, apart possibly from macrame and mud wrestling. And we may know more about that during the break. So, we've got mass, we've got spread and diversity, and we've got a really interesting range of people from all the sectors. I did some swift calculations. I'm not great at maths, but I did them several times, and I think I'm right. If we could find a way of pooling our abilities and pooling our knowledge and experience, this is what we'd have. We would have, in this room right now, 3,600 years of professional experience. Can you believe that? There isn't a single question we couldn't answer. There isn't a single question we couldn't solve. 3,600 years of experience. Epic. On top of that, we've got 7,200 years of human experience, which for co-production is absolutely as significant. Again, what couldn't we do? And finally, I worked out our IQ collectively. Our IQ in this room, and I was conservative in my estimates, yeah? Sorry, didn't mean that rudely. Our IQ in this room is 20,700 IQ points. It makes Einstein look like a half-witted gerbil on a really bad day. Yeah? We could conquer the world if we just decided to.